Everybody doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well.
You getting used to all this spotlight yet, man? Or?
I don't think I can ever get used to it, but hopefully one day. But it's a blessing just to be here, represent Ohio State, represent this great university and Buckeyes. So I'm having a good time.
Yeah, you guys got big expectations, right? I mean, it's college football playoff or bust. You talk about the challenge, the pressure of beating that.
For me, I don't really look at it as pressure. I just look at it as having fun. And it's a responsibility. And sadly we didn't reach that goal last year, but we're just gonna learn from that. So the great thing is that we have another year to do it. So I'm just excited for that, ready to have fun.
How much more mature do you feel going from last year, never taking a snap in a game, to this year being a leader on this team, right?
Yeah, my bad, I forgot to do this, but I want to thank God for letting me be here, give him all the glory and praise. What was the question again?
What's different for you this year, going in with so much more experience compared to last year?
For me, like you said, having a whole year under my belt, understanding that just being myself is good enough. Not doing too much, not being extra, not trying to make crazy plays, just doing the right things the right way. And then when it's time to make a play. So I definitely feel like that's the mindset I have now.
Coach Day, I think, was saying that you had the defense over, some defensive players over to your place, and were maybe feeding them and stuff like that. Can you talk about that and your role as a leadership? How much more comfortable you feel in that kind of role?
Right. I think definitely, if you ask me what a quarterback is, I definitely think I would say a leader. I think on and off the field, I think off the field is probably more important. If you build trust, I think leadership is all about trust. If I have trust for my guys, and they'll do anything for me, and I can do anything for them. So, I do invite a lot of my teammates over. Either side of the ball, even if you're a specialist, I don't care, lineman. I'll cook something or I'll order some, and then we just eat, have a good time, talk, play the game, do whatever, just have fun, just be boys. So I definitely think that's important, just to build that trust off the field. So on the field, we just ride for each other.
What are you cooking if the team's coming over?
You ask them. I can make a little bit of everything, you feel me? So I think I got a couple of options.
Feeding linemen is no challenge.
Did you feel comfortable in that role too last year as you rolled into finally being named the starter? I would think it's hard to really exert yourself as a leader. But when did you start to feel comfortable in that?
For me, I think I'm a natural born leader. I think I've been called to be a leader, not just in football, but just as a man of God. So it was never nothing new. I was doing this stuff, freshman year. So it's just now kind of gets a little bit more talked about, which I understand. But I definitely think that prepared me for being more of a leader. Of course, as a quarterback, you're always a guy. But I think when you come to a place like Ohio State, you have over millions of fans, millions of people who love Ohio State, love the Buckeyes. Now you're leading them in a sense as well. So I definitely feel that, and I respect that responsibility, and I try to do my best to be the best I can be.
What's your leadership style?
Honestly, I think I do everything. I'm very vocal. Sometimes I think I'm too vocal. I try to keep it real, just because I feel like those who keep it real with you in your life are the ones who do care. So, I try to call my guys out, but I often tell them to call me out if I'm doing something wrong, just because I like constructive criticism as well. And then, lead by example type of guy as well. I'm first one in, last one out, watch a lot of film. I can probably tell the defense what the offense is going to do just because off of film. I do watch a lot. But, it's other things that I have in my leadership ability. And I think probably the most important one is just be able to relate. I can relate to everybody on the team, from the different cultures to different backgrounds to you name it. I probably can relate to them in some type of way, or I can understand where they come from and put myself in their shoes. So,
is there any part of that maybe took a little longer to develop as you were getting comfortable in this?
I think the leading by example way, just because, before I met Coach Mick, I probably never touched a weight before. And now I'm 220, and I can lift a lot more than I used to. I'm decently strong, not crazy strong, but I think maybe that, and he's the one who really drove me into making myself like that, because I didn't want to be that at all. I wanted to just play football. I was like, Coach Mick, I can throw, it'll work. He's like, nah, you're gonna get hurt. You gotta lift. So that was one of the reasons why I even chose Ohio State, was because of Coach Mick.
Where were you when you got here?
189, 192. I gained 30 pounds, but a lot of muscle, so it's cool.
CJ, you talk about learning the defense and learning the team. Dame's defense, what they bring to the table on 15.
Right. Notre Dame is, a great team. Do a lot of great things. Greatly coached. They do a great job on the defense side. Have some great players, great dynamic players. So they do a lot of different things up front. They like to twist, turn. Some different fronts. And then, on the back end, not too sure because I think they changed defensive coordinators. But at the same time, I'm ready for everything. I try to do at least. But with a team like that, man, you just got to respect them. And I think it's going to be a battle and it's going to be a great game.
What's the magnitude of this game? Is the build up to it? You guys playing Marcus Freeman, alma mater of Ohio State. What's it feel like for you guys coming out to this day?
Right. For me, it's exciting for me just because, I've always dreamed of games like this, you know what I mean? Since a kid, prime time, night game, everybody watching, that's what you want if you're a competitor. So for me, it's just a blessing from God to have the opportunity. So I'm super excited to go out there, compete with them boys and see what they're about. So I'm definitely super excited.
CJ,
What your quarterback abilities are? What about quarterback situation over at Notre Dame between Pine and California?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I tried to stay in my lane, but I did work with Drew Pine at the Elite 11 and at a couple other events, and he's a good dude. I definitely rock with him off the field, but he can spin it as well. So I'm not sure. And I know Tyler. He from home. He from I think San Diego, I believe, and he's a good quarterback as well. So I'm excited to see who comes out. I definitely think that's fun. But I tried to stay in my lane.
You're a West Coast kid. Think about USC and UCLA coming to the Big Ten.
I think it's cool. I definitely think that it's a unique situation. I wish that I would have been able to play at the Coliseum. That was always been a goal of mine to play in the Coli. Of course, I got to play in the Rose Bowl, which was amazing. But I definitely wanted to play USC, but it's okay. But I definitely think it's a good opportunity, not only just for the Big Ten, but also for recruits. I know, even me being a California kid, it was hard for me to leave home, but I wanted to play in the Big Ten and play against other competition. So this gives them that opportunity, you know what I mean? So same thing with the Big Ten kids, the Midwest kids. If they want to go to the West Coast, now they can come back home every now and then, you know what I mean? So I definitely think that it's a positive thing.
You have friends that are recruits on the West Coast that maybe they pick your brain on what's it like to go to school and play a couple thousand miles from home.
Right. Yeah, I definitely have some buddies that go to USC, UCLA, even some that go to Oregon and whatnot. So they definitely tell me it is a positive of being close to home. But at the same time, I think for me, I wanted to get away. That was my personal preference, just because I just felt like I didn't have anything else I needed to do back home. Plus, that's a whole different conversation. But they tell me that they enjoy being there, which I appreciate. So I hope the best to them. But I like Ohio State.
CJ, can you talk a little bit about being a Heisman front runner and what that means? How does that motivate you? I know obviously last year you didn't win the award, but you're right there. So this year heading in, how does that help you?
Right. Being a finalist definitely was just a blessing. I've been dreaming of that moment for my whole life, ever since I dedicated my life to football. And for God to just bless me like that, as quick that it came, it was amazing. And I know that I went through everything that I went through just to get to that moment. And, of course, I'm not satisfied with it, but it is a goal, and I'm just going to appreciate it. But, I'm moving on from that and just working. I definitely think that I'm not really focusing too much on just the Heisman. I just want to win. I just want to go 1-0 a week, 1-0 game, 1-0 a film session, 1-0 in practice. I feel if you do that and you stack days, then things like that could come. So I'm just hoping for the best with that.
We saw this electric connection with you and JSN at Rose Bowl. You guys have a lot of opportunity this year with Garrett and Chris going on to the NFL. I know there's a lot of other guys in the receiver room that are very talented, but you can just talk about the connection you guys have and how dangerous it can be this season.
Right, yeah. Me and Jackson, I think our relationship started all the way back when we were in recruitment. And I remember just seeing some light-skinned dude that looked like me from Texas, and he was balling at the opening. And I was like, who's that dude? He's like, he committed to Ohio State. Now, not a coincidence, but God somehow made it to where we connected. And right when we got to school, we had a good connection. Still to this day, it's one of my brothers. It's one of my best friends. And we kind of just match well together. We get each other. And I definitely think the stuff that we do off the field does play into what we do on the field. And that's what our chemistry comes from. So I'm super excited. Also excited to play with the other guys too. So it's going to be really cool. Anybody else?
CJ, can you explain how the loss to Michigan affected your off season? You personally, how you trained, was that in your head? And also what you saw from Coach Day and your teammates?
I'm definitely something like that definitely does stick in your mind. But you got to be able to move on and just learn from it. I feel like every failure that you don't learn from is an L, but every failure that you do learn from is a W. So I definitely just learned from it, learn how to game manage better from that game, when to take the shot, when not to, moving in the pocket. There's a lot of different things you can take from that game, and I think it more as a positive, honestly. I know it sounds weird to say, but I'm living my dream, you know what I mean? Like, even though I wanted to win so bad, and I'll have another opportunity, hopefully, by the glory of God. So, just definitely working towards that in the offseason, and it's always in the back of my mind. So.
It had been basically a decade since they had beaten Ohio State. Did them winning sort of reignite the rivalry between the two?
No, it's always a rivalry. To me, I don't care if we beat them 100 times, they beat us. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't say it's like bad blood off the field, but in the sense, like, we just it's two great traditions on both sides, two great programs and great players on both sides that both have dudes in the NFL doing it now. So it's respect both ways, but at the same time, it is a war.
CJ, Coach Day was saying that this offseason, I guess more recently, you've had teammates over, you've been cooking for them and that sort of thing. Is that a new thing? You said that was like just a testament to your leadership.
Right, yeah, I'll touch on that again for sure. I like to have just dudes over just to build trust. Just be me myself being a leader, not just leading by example or leading on the field, but off as well, just showing them kind of my lifestyle, how I live, and just try to show the younger dudes that there's other ways than just balling on the field. You can be successful as a businessman too. So I show them some different things that I do in the NIL space, and just cook for them, just have fellowship, have a brotherhood.
CJ, how quickly did you start looking again at basic Michigan this upcoming year after the loss?
I don't know. You think about that game for forever. I'm not sure. Definitely still thinking about it to this day. But at the end of the day, you got to move on. You got to go play the next game. I'm blessed to even be where I'm at. So it is what it is.
CJ, as the NIL, how has it changed? How has it impacted you and your teammates? How do you try to balance the time commitments with
Yeah, for me, it's definitely been amazing and a blessing in my life. Definitely, it's changed my life for the future, and I think it's a jump start to be a businessman before you get to the NFL, or if that is your path. So for me, I definitely try to just keep the main thing. If my NIL deals come and I have a team, I work with Athletes First with David Mugietta and Brian Burney, who is my marketing agent, and they do a great job of just letting me pick and choose on what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And really, other than that, it's just football for me. So I'll just keep the main thing, and when it's time to be a businessman, I put that shirt on and do that. So.
Yeah, CJ Jackson talked about the process of an NIL deal. He said it can sometimes be an all-day affair, and I asked him how he balances that with academics and stuff, because it's not easy being students and stuff. So how have you balanced those all-day affairs with NIL and being as successful as you are on the field?
Right. It definitely is a balance, and you do need rest. Like for me, sleeping is the key. So I just try to rest a lot. And then on top of that, just working out is hard in its own. So you definitely got to just be prepared to do that and wake up the next day and do your responsibility with the NIL space. So it definitely is tough, but at the end of the day, it's what we asked for. You signed a contract, so me just being a man, like, you got to stand on your word and do it. So, but to me, it's a blessing. Like, I wouldn't want it any other way. I feel bad for the older players that didn't have the opportunity to, like, get money from this, like Braxton Miller, Cardell Jones, Justin, just many dudes that came before me that I respect that should have made a killing. So it's just good now the players that have control when it comes to our money.
Going back to week one, Notre Dame, speak to the preparations and take to
Yeah, they have a great defense, great front. Their DBs are both special, 6 and 5. Definitely are rangy, long dudes, especially 5 is. 6 is really quick when it comes to his feet work. And they do a lot of great things. Their safety is really good. I know they got the guy from Northwestern, Brandon Joseph. He's a great player. We played against him my freshman year. And then they're bringing back some linebackers as well that do a good job, and they're veteran. So I mean, you got to be ready for everything. So I mean, just me and my preparation. I try to treat every game like every other game like if I was playing against Tulsa last year, if I was playing against Michigan State. Every game I try to do the same, so I don't try to like psych myself out or make it the moment too big. So I'm really excited for that game. I do like getting away. So I love basketball. So like, I play basketball a lot. That clears my mind whenever I don't want to think about football. So, and then I like movies and TV shows. So I'll sit on my couch whenever I have free time to watch a movie, watch a TV show, and just try to get away. And I think that definitely is something that I do enjoy.
Notre Dame's defense, but you've only gone up against this new defense at Ohio State in the spring. What did you see from it, and what makes it so exciting for the guys who are
Right. I just think that it's like Rocky was explaining earlier, and I thought it made a lot of sense, was where as a defensive player, I mean, of course, of offense, like you have scheme and things that you need to execute, but as defense, you want to play freely. You want to do what you're called to do, what your talents are. I definitely think Coach No's defense does that, and it's definitely challenging for me in practice, which I do enjoy, just because, I mean, I like challenges, and I think the harder it is in practice, the easier it'll be in the game. So just seeing that and seeing them make plays in practice is amazing for me, just to see that both ways it'll be even this year. We'll both be really good.
critiques after Michigan was the toughness. How have you guys been working on that, whether it's on or off?
I mean, there's a lot of ways I feel like you can work on toughness, and for us, it's working with Coach Mick. He's definitely a hard body, Pennsylvania type of guy, so he's a little extreme in his ways, but I mean, it works, and it's helped my life extremely. So I do appreciate him and his ways to get us tough.
You said that what you've been doing is going to prepare you to do business next selection. Have you kind of seen that play out with how he's prepared this summer? Do you feel like you're preparing to be as a quarterback?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I do like the NIL space, because it gives us the opportunity to jumpstart that and to maybe even feel like what it is to be an NFL quarterback. Of course, you don't really know until you're there. But for me, like, I've been really busy this summer, but I feel like I balanced it really well with still getting my workouts in and still doing those things to make sure that I keep the main thing. But at the same time, like you said, like, I have a business to uphold and I have a family I need to feed as well, just like everybody else. So
Were you thinking like that before NIL came into play, or just kind of?
I've always kind of thought this way, just because I know the benefits football does do for your life. But at the same time, it is a responsibility off the field. So I try to balance it both ways and give back. I think the NIL space for me definitely is amazing for me, just to benefit from all the different avenues that you can. But for me, I like giving back. So, I mean, I've done a couple drives. I'm starting a nonprofit. So I'm doing different things just to get back to the community, and then for me to get back to home.
What's the last year been like for you, CJ? What's the last year been like for you? Has it been a whirlwind? I mean, last year at this time, Ryan Day didn't even name you the starter of the Big Ten Media Days. Now you're a household name. Everything you've accomplished on the field, off the field. How would you describe it over the last year?
I would just say it's a blessing. I think that's all I can say with that. It's definitely been pretty quick. Like, if I blink my eyes, like, I was just in high school, like, getting ready when the COVID hit, but like getting ready for graduation, you know what I mean? So definitely just a blessing in my life to be able to touch so many people, inspire others. I think that's definitely the most exciting part of my life. Like, all the football stuff is cool and stuff, but like seeing kids come up to me and ask me, like, and tell me that they want to be like me is like, it's very amazing for me. So I definitely appreciate that. But I definitely think that everything happens for a reason, and God prepared me for this moment. So I feel like that's why I'm thriving now, but I hope to keep doing that through him.
What's been the most eye-opening thing about being the starting quarterback at Ohio State, CJ, now for a year? You're recognized everywhere you go, at least in the Columbus area, even nationally. What's been the most eye-opening thing about it?
The most eye-opening thing for me, it's tough, man. It's a lot of things. I'll probably just say, like you said, just the idea of people like kind of recognizing me. Like, I went on vacation and I was like out the country and somebody recognized me. I was like, what the heck? Like, it's kind of cool, but it is scary at the same time, because I mean, I'm not really used to that, and I'm not used to staring, like people staring at me. Like, where I'm from, that's kind of weird, I guess. So I try to, I'm getting used to it though. So, but I try to just remain careful with what I do.
CJ, your teammate Jackson obviously was splitting reps with two other NFL-bound receivers last year, and in the Rose Bowl was going up against a running back that was filling in his corner. So, maybe we didn't quite see what his real production would be, but, what kind of role do you think he's going to play in the offense, and how much are you going to target him this season?
I feel like when it comes to the Rose Bowl, like with the running back out there, I think he did a good job. Like, he got thrown in the fire, but at the end of the day, it's not our fault. Like, we got to make plays. Like, we got a family to feed too. So, but Jackson, like, he would have did that against the best corner in the country. Like, I got that much faith in that dude. So it doesn't really matter who's we're going against in my eyes. Is what they're gonna do with us. You know what I mean? So I definitely think he'll show that this year, along with Marvin, along with Cameron Babb, Julian Fleming, Emeka Ibuka, and some other guys that are Xavier Johnson also stepping up, and some other dudes that will step up, like in the tight end room as well, like Kay Stover, G. Scott Jr., Joe Royer, then our running backs, Trey Henderson, Mayan Williams, Evan Pryor. These dudes are all amazing. So it's just amazing for me not to just work with great players, but great human beings.
Yeah, much is expected of this offense. Is that out of whack, or do y'all expect? Y'all led the nation in total offense last year, but the running game could have been better, etc. What is your sense of what y'all got coming back?
We just gotta do us. We don't got nothing to prove. We don't gotta prove nobody right. We just gotta prove nobody wrong, but we gotta just prove ourselves right. No matter what you do in your life, I feel like anything, somebody's always gonna have something to say. So you might as well just do you. So like, if we run the ball good, so be it. If we don't, as long as my teammates is happy and I'm happy and Coach Day is happy and the Buckeye fans are happy, I'm cool. Like it's never gonna be perfect. You know what I mean? So that's just the game of football.
CJ, kind of a two-part question here for you. When you think about Notre Dame and what do you think about as far as the rich history that they come along with, the college them rather, and then along with that, what's the conversation like in the locker room leading up to this matchup?
Like you said, their tradition is rich, just like ours. So, two great fan bases that come from a lot of past, not conflict, but past this lineage. You know what I mean? That's handed down with great players. But in the locker room, we having fun right now. It's the off season. We enjoying ourselves. We're really not too focused on what they're thinking. We just focus on us. But of course, we're working for that, and definitely when the time comes, we'll be ready.
CJ, have you studied more Notre Dame? Have you studied any Notre Dame films?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've been studying them for a couple months now, and I'm pretty sure they've done the same. So I just think that's normal.
What have you like watching film? Or something you talked about in the past that you enjoy doing? So do you like kind of having like a big game week one? You got a lot of months to prepare for. Like, do you like that whole setup?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter if it's in a week. If it's not, I'm not really. It's not my job to create the schedule, so I can only just do what I can. So whatever the case may have been for, if it was the first game or second, I feel like I do the same each and every week, no matter what the team. So it really doesn't matter.
CJ, your coach mentioned that you had the defensive guys over to your apartment and make dinner. I apologize if you've already been asked this question, but what do you make them, and what's your go-to?
When they came over, I made soul food. So I made like some mac and cheese, some fried chicken, some waffles. I probably made a couple other things if I can remember. But I learned how to cook from my mom. And then just little recipes like TikTok and stuff that'll help me. So I know I like to just help my teammates out, just enjoy time with them. Just like we're humans too, you know what I mean? Like we're still normal people. We like to do normal things. I feel like we sit there, we have great conversation, play the game, do whatever, just be boys. So it's a good time.
What does Justin Fields tell you about the NFL, and what's your relationship like with him since he left Ohio State?
Yeah, our relationship is still been intact. Of course, we're both busy and we're both doing our own thing, so it's not too much communication. But whenever I see him, it's all love. And he says he likes the NFL. He says it's definitely a business, it's definitely a job he has, and that's what you expect. So I'm really happy for him, and I'm excited to see what he does this season. I went to the Virgin Islands. Yeah, so it was fun. Yeah.
St. Thomas?
St. Thomas, yes, sir.
How'd you like it?
It was amazing. Really good time.
You talk about having guys over. Do you feel like the team